Well, as I told our team that this week is going to be my favorite week, hands down, of Hardrocker volleyball, since we host Black Hills tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and then we leave Thursday morning for Daytona Beach, Florida. So, I mean, can't beat that at all, can you? Yeah, Black Hills State tomorrow night. We had a fantastic, if not phenomenal, 4 matches against them last year. We beat them 4-0. But as we've talked all year long, that was last year and this is this year. And we've got a lot of hard work ahead of us going into tomorrow night. But they are definitely a team that matches up very well against them. Black Hills has a lot of firepower. And so we've worked on a lot of things in the last week just as far as scouting and doing some schemes against them. And in the sport of volleyball, you definitely can scout and find some matchups that way. Justine Blade is hitting over 369 for the year, and that's a really big number for a junior middle hitter. Janelle Strampy is playing middle for us this year and is just doing a phenomenal job of scoring points when we need her to. And Carson Garcia, sophomore setter, has over 600 assists for the year, which is a really big number considering we are only about halfway through our season at this point. So, you know, we talk about whenever you play Black Hills State, it's a game where it's a lot of emotion, and it doesn't matter what your record is. It doesn't matter what their record is. It's just a fun game to be a part of. So I know our kids are pretty excited going into tomorrow night that way as well. Right now we are sitting at 7-11, and coming off a loss to Colorado Mines last week, and they were ranked number 16 in the country at the time. Came out set number 1 and competed really well, won set 1, and then I saw us flip sides, and we just started kind of thinking, and I could see our freshmen, their eyes getting big, and I just think we've got to continue to just be very calm and very relaxed with this team. It's a very young team with 3 freshmen on the floor and a sophomore setter, and they're doing a great job. They're playing with a lot of energy and keeping their expectations in check, and just realizing that in order for us to continue to win games, we've got to be smarter than everybody else. And as Dr. Gunn and I were talking about, we've got a pretty smart group of young ladies, so we've just got to keep digging in there and doing what we know is going to work, and some things like that. So I was pretty pleased with set number 1 at Colorado Mines, because as Coach Malone and I have talked all year long, we are right there with those RMAC teams. But it's been 5 points where we could have won 5 matches, and our record would be a heck of a lot better than what it was. But, you know, we like doing things the hard way, I guess, this year, which is perfectly fine with me. I think going in the second half of the schedule, we just need to keep focusing on winning point by point, because as Coach Collins just said, 1 point can take you a long way, and 1 point especially in the sport of volleyball. So this will be a fun week for us. We go to Florida and we play Embry Riddle University and Bellevue, that are both ranked in the top 25 NAIA, and then we play Weber International and Bethel out of Tennessee on Saturday. And I think it'll be a great week for our team. We're just back on the bus and back on the flight, and as I was telling Brad Bloom last week, we've already traveled on the bus almost 4,500 miles this year, and for us to have won 7 games traveling that much, we're still on pace to be where we want to be. So, any questions?
Why does everybody look at me? Do you want the mic, Lynn?
I'm wondering, I haven't followed, especially their volleyball program much. What kind of a factor is Caitlin Templeton for them having transferred? She still plays there.
She does.
What's the story up there?
Caitlin is a phenomenal volleyball player, and she is doing a fantastic job offensively. And she just smiles a lot, which is what I really like about her, and she's brought up a little bit more, like you say, Rapid City presence to her. She hits the ball hard. They actually have 3 hitters. Megan Sipe, they got to transfer him to the University of Wyoming, Caitlin Templeton, and then Amy O'Neill is a junior on that team, and they hit the ball hard. They hit it straight down and hard, but they hit it and they'll make some mistakes. But I think when you see our team play, we're a more shot selection type of team where we try to outsmart teams, especially with their youngsters. They're going to hit it as hard as possible tomorrow night. So we've got to really defend a lot better and block a lot better, and let us score our points and let them make their mistakes that way. Like I said, Caitlin, she's doing a great job for them. And she's big and she jumps. And so we just have to kind of be a little bit smarter than what they are when we match up with them.
Tiffany, last year, fantastic season. This year, schedule's harder, more D2 schools. That plays into it. What challenges are you facing this year maybe that you didn't have to deal with last year?
I think it's pressure. Like I said, 5 points this year would have put us at 1 point at 12-5 instead of where we're at right now, and especially early on. And we're talking, we've played 7 5-set matches, which is a really big number in volleyball, and we're 2-5 in those. So we talk every day in practice, and I know our kids kind of roll their eyes at me, but I'm always like 1 point. It's 1 serve. That's 1 pass. That's 1 set. You can quantify that as a lot of things. And so we just really talk about the pressure. I think we are now getting to the point where we're just relaxing a little bit more. I think early on the year, they're kind of like, oh my gosh, we don't win 27 games, and we've talked about it's a tougher schedule. And so just getting them acclimated to D2 volleyball, and like I said, we're right there. We just kind of, honestly, we just have to finish games, and we have to finish it and make that decision that we want to score those points and be better than other teams right now.